But before the end of the video, we have our bonus card of the day. First video of the year, I should probably explain this again. These are cards that I buy as singles, specifically to go in this segment. They go in this sleeve for a very long time, where they actually get shuffled around, and I tend to forget what I even purchased. They stay in here until they are shown in a video. So, looking at this one, I am seeing, let's get it in focus here, some whitening there, along with on that side. More whitening there. With the zoom that's going on, that makes the color on the back look a little bit too light, but I promise you it's a regular color. It's not some fake crap I buy from a really good store. But on the, well, on the front end, I'm guessing it's going to be a little bit older, but not super old, but I could be wrong. We have a Dialga, okay. 2008, I would expect it to be a little bit more whitened if it has been used, but I'm happy to have it in decent condition. We have the Dialga from Pokemon Platinum as a stamped card. I have an obsession with these stamped cards, man. I'm working on getting them all instead of a binder by themselves. I'll probably hard sleeve all of them, even though some of them aren't valuable enough to do that with. I'm not too sure yet. But we have our stamped Dialga. I love these stamped cards way too much. But before the end of video recap, we have to do the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically for this segment. That's enough explanation. This one doesn't seem to have much whitening going on, so we might be looking at a more modern card, or at least a well kept up with vintage. But I'm guessing it's going to be more modern, especially because the coloring looks, you know, not off like you would get in some older sets, yada yada. We have the Pokemon Breeder. Yeah, 2017. I don't remember that set symbol, which it isn't old enough that I shouldn't know it, but I don't, so I'm sorry. Maybe you guys will be interested. Maybe you guys know the set symbol. But yeah, we have the Pokemon Breeder. My card store doesn't usually get that many modern cards traded in like this. At least not ones that don't sell immediately, I'm assuming. I'm not sure. But yeah, they had some more modern stuff, I'd say probably about a month or two ago, and I picked some up that just were really nice. Things that I could pull that might not have the most amount of value, but just nice to add to the collection. Alright, now it's time for the end of the bonus card of the day. Cards I buy as singles, specifically to go at the end segment, yada yada yada. Usually forget what I even have. Today's card has some whitening, especially up there in that corner, a little bit along the side, like little notches. That corner is probably the worst down there. Might not be super old, but it also could be based on the whitening. Let's see, we have... oh, another platinum stamped card from 2008. We have the Pichu. Again, I love collecting these stamped cards. I am very, very much building out this collection. I think eventually I'll have to do a video just kind of showing all the stamped cards I have. If you guys are interested, let me know. I'd still probably want to build up the collection a little bit more before I decide to film a video for that. But I think it'd at least be interesting. Maybe I could do that for like a subscriber milestone or something. I mean, it's not the biggest celebration in the world, but it's a personal thing. I love these stamped cards. I don't know why. It's just a thing that I do. It is now time for the bonus card of the day. And we have a decent amount of whitening on this guy. Nothing terrible, but you can see a little bit there at the top, a little bit there in the corner. Aside from that, it looks okay. So we might be looking at a more modern card. I'm not sure. Not the best cutting. But we have a Clefairy Hollow from base set 2. It is not a first edition, but it is definitely just something that I bought to add to my collection to kind of beef up my vintage cards. I mean, I expect the vintage cards to only go up in value the later in life Pokemon gets, and especially if we hit another like Poke Fever like we did around the time of I forgot the name of the subset. It is just not coming to me. When Poke Fever really kicked off. You know, if that happens again in like 10 years, I expect these cards to shoot up in value again. So maybe that would be worth a good time to actually start selling off some Pokemon collection, but I have no intent on doing that anytime soon. We have a very nice looking old Clefairy. I'm actually very shocked. You know, for being 1998, this is in immaculate condition. Like, those couple little white dots are really not going to hurt the value all that much. I don't ever get my cards graded, but maybe I should when the time comes. Let's move on to the bonus card of the day. I'm not going to explain it this time around. We have something in a sleeve. Doesn't look like it really any whitening on this guy, so it's probably a lot more modern. we have the Zekrom Trainer Gallery. So not going to be a super high valued card. Oh, kind of might be at Zekrom, but I really doubt it. These trainer galleries aren't usually that high unless they're like the secret rare versions, like, you know, like the V version, sorry. But yeah, we have our Zekrom. This is another thing I want to add to the collection. I just want to try and get all of the trainer galleries eventually. This guy will be in a better sleeve than this. I like the perfect fits. But cool, not a bad little extra to have in the end. But now let's go on to the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically to go into this segment. I usually forget what's in here until it's time to show them on video. This one does look a bit more damaged, if you guys can see it okay. The whitening on that edge, I don't think it's showing up as well on camera. It's a bit more beat up than your standard whitening. Aside from that, the corner's a little bad. This isn't the worst condition card I've bought as a single by any means, but it's not the best, so I'm guessing it's going to be a bit older. We have... Yes! We have the Delta species Seadra, specifically from Dragon Frontiers. It is a stamped card. I freaking love these stamped cards. Still adding to this collection. This card is from back in 2006. I'm just a massive fan of Delta species, and I'm a massive fan of stamped cards. So getting both on one card, yeah, you know I had to buy that when I saw it. It is now time for the bonus card of the day. It's a segment where I buy cards specifically to put in at the end of videos. I usually forget what's in here by the time I gotta do it, yada 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 yada. Technically, this card was supposed to be, whatever this card is, in the last video, but I forgot about this segment in the last video, so let's see what was supposed to be in the end of it. This card is in fantastic condition. I don't see any amount of whitening. It is super smooth, no issues, so it's probably a more modern card. We have, yes, the Galarian Sirfetch'd V Full Art. Local card store doesn't usually get a whole lot of these modern cards in that actually stay there for long enough for me to show up and buy them. And figured I'd get a couple, so this ended up being one of the more modern boys that I picked up. I know I didn't have him. There's a chance I'll eventually pull him from the Vivid Voltage, but you also don't see a whole lot of Vivid Voltage anymore, so you know, might as well go ahead and get him now. So here's where it's going to get really interesting. My bonus card of the day. These are cards I buy specifically for this segment. Usually they're just cards that I just wanted, and not necessarily because they're super high value or anything like that, that I save until it's time to reveal them here. This pile's been getting a little bit shorter lately. My card store has made a decision that kind of doesn't make me very happy, and doesn't mean not want to go there as much, where they are no longer taking in old cards. They're only doing cards that are in the current meta. And so I haven't gotten as many older cards. I know I should start looking online. And so I know that there are a couple more desperate picks in here. And hopefully that's not one of those that we're getting today. Because that would not be a nice way. You know what? No, we're not even going to do it. We're going to up our chances. We have a couple cards that are in sleeves in here. Usually if they're in sleeves, it means that they're higher value. We're going to go with one of these that's actually in a sleeve. Because I don't want to end the video off with one of the cheaper cards that I got, just because I kind of wanted it, and I know that nobody else would care. So, whatever card that was supposed to be, we'll see it again one day. But yeah, I'll leave these cards as they are, so whenever I buy them and they're in a sleeve, like this one being in this Mewtwo sleeve from the Go ETB, I don't do this. Like, a lot of these are unsleeved. There are some valuable cards I buy that'll be unsleeved, and I leave them that way, just to kind of preserve it a little bit. But we're going to pull it out, and this card might actually be one of those. You can see it's in really nice condition, which usually means that it's more modern. I'm not seeing any whitening or anything. Maybe a little dot there. Yeah, no, I think that was all on the card. Yeah. So we have... Okay, yeah, more modern, but not bad. We have the Rapid Strike Urshifu V. This is from the Trainer Gallery. Yeah, like I said, I love the Trainer Gallery, so... Hey, we gotta end the video off with a good card, right? I mean, technically it's cheating, because it's from a thing of all decent cards. But we have the Rapid Strike Urshifu V from the Trainer Gallery. It's time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically to go in this segment, mostly just because I wanted them. They go in this thing until I reveal them in a video. I usually forget what I even buy by the time I do, because this pack just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I always shuffle them around. But this time we have a card with a tiny little dot of whitening and pretty much no other signs of damage. So we're probably looking at more modern as well. We have the Magnezone V Star. You are Lost Origin, I believe that symbol is. Am I wrong? That's Lost Origin, right? I'm fairly certain. Huh. Not bad. I probably picked him up because he wasn't very expensive, and I wanted to add to my V-Star collection if I had to guess. But it's also just a nice looking card. So we're going on to the bonus card of the day. Is the segment where I buy cards, mostly because I want them. They go in this little thing until it's time for me to reveal them in the video. By the time I do, I usually forget what's even in here. And our next card, oh, I think of the texture. I feel like I feel texture, but it's very light. Very modern card, I'm assuming, by the lack of any sort of whitening. And we have, yeah, exactly, pseudo textured. Like, it is textured, but it's not as deep as, like, I'm burping, a lot of the full arts. We have the amazing rare Zamazenta. You can tell because it has the letter A down there, really tiny. There's your little A down there. The A seems kind of off in the color wheel. That's fine, though. If I remember correctly, I bought this because I already have the sword doggo version and not the shield. Maybe I didn't even know whenever I bought it. Maybe I just bought it cluelessly because it looks cool and I want to fill this page in my binder more because they have not made enough of these Rainbow Boys. These are nice. They're not exceptional cards. They're not like the thing that when a set releases, you're going to strive for. It's going to be in your top 3 cards you want to pull. But it mixes up the hollows a little bit, and I want them to keep this going throughout Scarlet and Violet, you know, just sprinkle in just this little sprinkles of these in every set, kind of like the Radiance. They like 3 of these a set or something, you know, just for the next so many at the very least. But it's time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles because I want them. They go in this thing until I reveal them in a video. And this time around, we actually have a sleeved card, as I've mentioned many times. If they're in a sleeve, that's how they were when I bought them. It's weird that, you know, I'm basically just buying sleeves, because all these cards are going into my own sleeves. I don't like using these Pokemon official ones. So I just have a pile of random sleeves, which is, you know, it's wonderful. But we're going to take it out. Oh, well, we're going to attempt to, there we go. I actually think I know which one this is. It looks fairly modern as well. We have, yes, the Celebrations Classic Collection Venusaur. Our textured boy here. It's a weird kind of texture. It's very minimal, but cool. We have the Classic Collection Venusaur Hollow. Of course, it's not going to be the same value as the base set Venusaur, but this little guy did do a wonderful thing by lowering the value of the base set Venusaur, which I'm sure all of the collectors were super stoked about. You know, the current, you know, the previous owners of said base set Venusaurs. But this is my favorite boy, and I don't believe I ever pulled him from the Celebration set, so it's nice to buy him as a single. I could be wrong, maybe I already had him and now I have 2 and wasted my money. But it's not entirely a waste, because now you guys got to see a nice, beautiful little card at the end of a video. But it's now time for the bonus card of the day, and as I said that it has been revamped, I have also put it in a different box. I bought this thing for doing just some packs for YouTube Shorts. This was not a build and battle box, this was a 6-pack booster box. But I put them in here to kind of mix things up a little bit, so now we can't really see what's in there. If you guys can't tell, a decent amount of things. But, like always, we are going to be drawing from the back. These are always shuffled around. I never really remember the things that I purchased by the time they go in a video. And I always leave them in whatever sleeves they may or may not have been in when I bought them at the card store. In this case, it's in this weird golden sleeve that isn't really my thing. But we're going to slide it out first. I can already tell you that the card is a bit bent. It's a bit curved. Ooh, and a decent amount of whitening on the corners. Luckily, the card store I go to takes that into account when pricing their cards. And so I'm assuming it's going to be a bit older. We have, yes. If you guys have watched this channel for a while, you know that I collect stamped cards. I also love Delta Species, my favorite card typing that I wish that they would bring back. So it's nice to get a stamped Delta Species to add to my stamped collection. The Delta Species Larvitar now is a little fire boy. I'd say that's not a bad one to end this thing off on. Oh, Box of Silver Tempest, please bless us with a good bonus card. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically to go in this segment. I usually forget what I buy by the time I open them because there's usually a lot of cards. There's still a lot in here. So I just kind of shuffle them around every time I buy one. This kind of goes in here randomly. So, this one is in good condition. It's probably going to be a much more modern card than Let's see. We have... Oh, that's boring. I think this is one that I threw in here because I bought it, like it came from a tin or something that I use for filming stuff for YouTube Shorts. I post a short every other day. You guys gotta go check it out. That's boring. We're gonna do a different one. Alright, this one's actually sleeved. So whenever I buy these cards, I actually leave them in the sleeves that they came in from whatever card store I bought them from. And in this case, we have... Okay, yeah. Might seem a little basic to some of you guys, but I actually collect stamped cards. It's a weird sub-collection for mine, and this is a Pokemon League 3rd place reverse Shelmet. This card is from back in 2014. The way I understand it is you have to actually play in a Pokemon League tournament, and if you place in 3rd place, you get this little Shelmet. God knows that I paid for this guy. I'll throw him back in the sleeve for now, but I'll probably, you know, I will end up resleeving him. Oh, this sleeve's actually kind of has some gunk on the outside. It's kind of old, but it'll do for now. But yeah, I love collecting these stamped cards, and I know it's not a 1st place, but I mean, it's still another stamp to add to the collection. I actually don't think I have any of these in my current stamp collection, any of these Pokemon League, you know, placing cards. So I do have some that have that stamp on it, but they don't have, you know, a bracket in the tournament. So nice card to add to the collection to kind of add some more variety to the stamps. Let's move on to the bonus card of the day. I still can't close this box because I still have a very large sleeved thing in here because that happens to be how we got the card. But we're not doing that card because it's not at the... Oh, is it at the back? Oh, it is at the back! Oh, it's time! Sadly, I do know what this one is. This is not one that I'll forget because it was interesting. The fact that, first off, whenever I buy singles, very, very, very rare that they come in these little Ultra Pro things. Secondly, I didn't buy this. My girlfriend found it at work. We have a promo, I think? Yeah, a promo from X and Y 174 Pikachu EX. I assume that I already have this card, but she found this in the parking lot at her job. Wow, that sleeve is disgusting. It made it look the card... I just kind of assumed that this card was beat up, but it looked like it was just the sleeve that was beat up. The card looks fine. Huh. That's actually in good condition. Okay. So yeah, just found in the parking lot at her job a Pikachu EX promo. Again, I assume I already have this, also assume the value isn't super high, but I thought it would be fun to include in here. Now, I think, yeah, there is still a hard sleeve in this. Yeah, it's only the one. Can I actually close it now? Oh, I can close our bonus card of the day box. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day. Now, that's really needed for this video. I'm not going to bother explaining what this segment is this time. Let's see what we have. This card is unsleeved in an immaculate condition, so it's probably going to be very new. We have the Heatran V Max. I don't remember why I bought this. I mean, it's a V Max. If I had to guess, I probably bought it because it was like a really low price. Rather, that means that the value was low, and I just paid like the standard price for it, or maybe I got a good deal on a card that still probably doesn't have a whole lot of value. Either way, I picked up a Heatran V Max apparently, so bonus card of the day. Not as special as all the things that we pulled, but if I was going to get that in any video, it would be this one. Oh, I started it in the video. I forgot we have to do the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically to go in this segment. Usually by the time I open them, I forget what's even in here, plus they kind of get shuffled around. This card is in a sleeve. Like I said, whenever I buy these things, if they come in a sleeve, I leave them in whatever condition I bought them in. So let's see what we have. We have the Dusknoir Trainer Gallery. Wow, I did not know I still had trainer galleries in this thing. I mentioned in an old video, I bought a bunch of trainer galleries on eBay for a really good price, and the ones that I didn't already have in the collection went into my bonus card of the day thing, which used to be in like a big sleeve. Now I keep it in the Silver Tempest box. I didn't know that there were still any in here. I'd assumed that we already pulled all of them. So there's evidence that I shuffle these things around. So like something that I just bought yesterday could be the card we get now, or it could be a card we get in a year and a half because it gets shuffled around constantly. But yeah, we have a Dusknoir Trainer Gallery. Very nice looking card, and actually I have not pulled this thing since purchasing it, so it's still a good purchase. But now it's time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically for this segment, yada yada yada. God knows what this thing is. That has an ugly sleeve though. I don't know how well it's showing up for you guys on camera, but I can actually see like the back of the card through it. It's a very ugly yellow. But I always keep these things in the sleeves that I buy them in, at least until they're shown on video. Then I usually take them out of the P sleeves. But let's pull this thing out and never put it back in this disgusting sleeve. There's a decent amount of whitening around the outside, which is always a bummer, but at the same time, that tends to mean that it's an older card. Let's see what we have. Yeah, Electabuzz from the Kids WB Presents Pokemon the First Movie. As I've said many times, I collect stamped cards. This one's from all the way back in 1999, obviously, for the Pokemon movie. I collect stamped cards, but I didn't have this one in my collection. I don't think it's super valuable. A lot of these stamped, like, movie cards are... People tend to way overvalue what they're actually worth. So I doubt I paid a whole lot for it, but of course you guys will have seen the value down below. But it's weird I didn't have it in my stamped collection, and now I do. But of course, now it's time for the bonus card of the day. Segment where I buy cards, I buy them specifically for this segment. Usually forget what's in them, yada yada yada, all that fun stuff. If you've watched the channel before, you already know. So this card does have some whitening on him, not a whole lot, mostly down there in the bottom, a little bit in that corner there. The biggest thing is that it is warped, but that is an easy thing to fix. But I'm not certain what this is, but I have a feeling, because I remember buying one card that was warped. I've bought a couple that are. But we have... Okay, not the one I was thinking. We have the Deoxys, well, EX Deoxys, stamped Skarmory. Holo is not in the best condition. You might be able to see a little bit of glittering going on here, like on this part of the card, along with like the top where it's kind of gotten a bit of damage. This thing is not in great condition. It's definitely not going to get a PSA 10, I can tell you that. But it is a very nice looking Skarmory card that I actually believe I might have had as a child. I know I still have some of these Deoxys stamped cards, but I think I might have had this one as well when I was a child, and I don't any longer until now. I always put these things in better sleeves. I'm just going to throw this one in here temporarily to keep him protected. I think he's going to beat up enough and get him flattened back out. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles. Ooh, we're finally on to this hard sleeve. I don't even remember what you are. I have a good idea. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically to go in this segment. I usually forget what I even purchased by the time they go in here, mostly because I shuffle them all around. Our stack's actually getting low faster than I thought it would. I do have more cards I need to throw in here, though. But I have an idea as to what this could be, because there's one card that value-wise makes sense that it would have been hard sleeved, but I don't remember if it was. I always leave these things in the sleeves that they came in at the card store. We have... It is not what I thought it was. Actually, I left the price tag on there so you can see what I paid. I actually think I overpaid for this card. I remember looking it up after I got home. A lot of the times whenever I buy cards from this store, I either, like, pay, like, $1 or $2 over, like, you know, like a small percentage over what the card is actually worth, or I pay under. I'd say most of the time, this store that I bought this one from, it's either going to be like right at the market value or under, but occasionally things get mixed up and I end up paying more. But we have the reverse Marowak, specifically from the Pokemon League. It is the first place card. Now, the card's from 2015. I don't know if that means it's when the tournament was, but first place Pokemon League tournament card. I love these stamped cards. I love adding more to my collection, and I did a third place recently in a video, but now I have a first. I just don't have a second place card for the collection. But it is now time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy specifically to go in this segment. I usually forget what's even in here by the time it comes around, and I always shuffle them whenever I buy new ones. So this card is still in the sleeve that I bought it in. It's this weird blue turquoise looking sleeve, but we're going to slide it out. If I can. There we go. And as far as damage, there is a bit of whitening up here, some nicks on the side, so we can assume this one's going to be a bit older. We have, well, yeah, definitely older. We have from back in 2000 and, what is that, 6? Sorry, it's kind of hard to see from this new recording setup. We have the Raichu from EX Holon Phantoms as a stamped card. I always love adding on to my stamped collection. I think I'm probably around 60 cards now, if I had to guess, in this stamped collection. This will probably be going in a better sleeve, but for now, it gets to hang out in this guy. But of course, now it's time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically to go in this segment. I usually forget what I even purchased by the time they are shown off. This card does have a decent amount of whitening straight across that side, but it doesn't look like the usual kind of whitening when, like, you know, a card gets older and gets kind of mistreated. It looks more like a printing issue. You can see it's almost like fibers sticking off the edge of the card rather than the card being peeled back. So if this card is older, it's in good condition. It's more of just a print issue. Aside from that, I have no idea what it is. We have, yeah, it is a newer card, the Trainer Gallery Abomasnow. I still didn't realize I had more Trainer Galleries in this box. I assumed that they were all gone. I pulled another one a couple of videos ago as well. But we have our Trainer Gallery Abomasnow. Sadly, I think I might have pulled this card since purchasing this and putting it in the bonus card of the day. But I could be wrong, so this could be a new one for me, or it could be a duplicate. Either way, nice little thing to end the video off on, getting a Trainer Gallery after opening a box where you can't get Trainer Gallery. Let's move on to the bonus card of the day. At least we're guaranteed to at the very least get something decent in here. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically to go in this segment. They always get shuffled up around every time I add new cards to it. Actually, I just remembered I have more cards I need to add to it that are just kind of sitting in a pile. Anyways, by the time they're shown on here, I usually forget what's even inside. This card is not sleeved. I always leave them in the condition they were whenever I bought them. Not being sleeved is a kind of bad sign for hoping for something good. The lack of whitening also means that it's going to be more modern, so probably, if I had to guess, looking at a more modern either stamped card or like a Trainer Gallery. We have... no, actually. We have a hollow... no, that's boring. I feel like this is one that I threw in a long time ago. Because I used to, like, you know, I open products to do on YouTube Shorts, and I'm like, oh, I can throw the promos in that thing. That's boring, and that's cheap. We got a Lucario. That's cool. There's price. We're doing another. Yeah, I stopped doing that. I didn't realize any more of those are still in there. Maybe this is also one of them. I went ahead and got a sneak peek. It is not one of them. Again, not sleeved, no whitening, so pretty similar situation, but it is the Radiant Gardevoir. Now, these Radiants don't tend to have a whole lot of value, although there have been some exceptions, but really happy to have found this card. I believe it was at the card store that I normally go to, because in Scarlet and Violet, the shiny Ralts ended up being my first shiny that is kind of randomly found in the wild. And so getting the Radiant Gardevoir card just felt kind of fitting. You know, that this shiny is a little bit more special to me thanks to that being my first shiny in Scarlet and Violet. So cool. Not a bad looking card to end this out on. And finally, we are down to the bonus card of the day. I'm not going to bother explaining it this time. I explain it in a lot of the videos. So sorry if this is your first time watching the channel. This card is in a sleeve. As I always mention, I keep these things in the sleeves that they come in at the card store. God knows what's inside, so we're going to unsleeve it so we can get a look at the back of the card. Looks like the cutting on that corner is a little wacky, but aside from that, there's no whitening or anything. Okay, tiny bit down there. So this is more than likely a more modern card. We have, yes, another stamped card, not as modern as I would have expected. Very nice to know that it's in great condition. We have from back in 2016, it is a promo, so I assume that this came in like a build and battle box. I don't know if they were doing those back then, but maybe. We have the Trevenant Breakpoint stamped card. If you're new to this channel, I collect stamped cards, and I'm always super happy to add more to the collection. And finally, this thing can go with the others. I believe this is one that I actually picked up a while back. I don't think I have any other stamped Breakpoint cards, so this might be the first one of those to add to the collection, but I could be wrong. But don't worry, that is not the end. Because it's time for the bonus card of the day that I keep in this little Silver Tempest thing. That was a good little spin I got on that. Okay, see, every time I try to redo something that I was proud of myself for, it falls flat on its face. These are cards I buy as singles specifically to go in this segment. I tend to shuffle them in, and by the time they go in a video, half the time I forget what I've even purchased. This is in one of these like weird, like, yellow, partially see-through sleeves. God knows what brand that sleeve is. But we're going to actually slide this one out and see if we can make a guess, modern or no. Don't see any kind of whitening, maybe a tiny nick up there, it's hard to tell. It does have a bit of a curve to it, so whoever had this had it in a binder. Let's see, we have, oh yes, okay. We have a reverse e-reader Absol. You are from back in 2003. For those of you who don't know, this is my favorite of the Pokeboys. And I have an Absol collection. My card store, well, one of my card stores, there are so many in my area now, it makes me happy. Some of them suck, but we don't talk about those. Oh, if somehow somebody from one of those card stores is watching this video, don't think I'm saying that your store sucks, because if I still go to your store, you're not one of the ones that sucks. Anyways, this was not one I had in the collection. I don't think I even had the regular version, but getting it as a reverse was definitely like, okay, this has to go to the collection. I don't remember how much I paid for it. Oh yeah, it's actually written on the sleeve. I think I actually paid pretty much what it's worth, which is a bit upsetting because this isn't in perfect condition. It is really good condition. It's not perfect, but, you know, I'm okay with it. It does got that curve, though, and I want to fix that, but I did pay $23.99. Of course, since I purchased this, the price is likely to have changed, so the price that you saw on screen is the current value. I'll pop it up again for you guys, this time without a sound effect. But now it's time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically for this segment. They go into this thing, they get shuffled up, I tend to forget what's even inside. But this time we have a Pokemon Go ETB sleeve here. So maybe it is a Go card. It seems to be in okay condition. Not really, there's a little bit of like, I'm not sure why you guys are seeing it, like a little white dot down there, I suppose. But let's flip it around. We have, okay, definitely not from Go. We have the Holo Onyx from EX Team Rocket returns as a stamped card. From all the way back in 2004. Always, always, always super happy to add more stamped cards to the stamped card collection. Look at this beautiful boy. You know, I'd say for a video where we got no pulls until the very end, unless you include the one holo, to end off with 2 pulls at the end, and then this beautiful boy being in our random box of mystery. Yeah, not bad. I'm going to throw him back in the sleeve for now, even though I'll eventually put him in one of my actual good sleeves. This is better than nothing. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically to go into this segment. I usually forget what I buy by the time they go into a video, yada yada. This one's not even sleeved. And like I said, I always keep these in the same condition they were when I purchased them. So the fact that it's not even sleeved, this is probably going to be a low value card. But with how many pulls we had today, I'm okay with that. We have, yeah, Tessrina V Full Art from Fusion Strike. Don't even really know why I bought you. I'm guessing it was just like a good price. Like, it's still a fine pull. I would be happy to pull this. Buying it as a single, yeah, this was definitely a lower end thing from the box of mystery. But, yeah, I'd say it's fine for the amount of things that we got in this video. This is an okay way to cap things off. But now it is finally time for the bonus card of the day, coming out of our little box of mystery, which can't close anymore because there's a big old card in here. But I always grab from the back, and it is not time for that one today. Instead, we do actually have a sleeved card, which can be a good sign. So let's pull it out. It's in good condition, which could mean that it's more modern. We have the Toxicroak EX from Scarlet and Violet. Fun story behind this one. When I bought it, I wasn't paying that much attention. I did not think this was Scarlet and Violet. I thought I was buying a slightly older card here. Forgot that this was in Scarlet and Violet. So, whoops. I was trying to buy a slightly older card, ended up buying a very modern one. But it's still cool to have the Full Art Toxicroak EX. I can't complain. It's still a nice thing to have. I still haven't actually pulled this card myself, so it was probably still worth picking up. But just not quite what I had intended. Well, let's move on to the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically for this segment. They go into this box that won't even close right anymore because there's a big boy in there until it's time to show them on a video. I always grab from the back. So let's see. This card is actually sleeved, which is always a decent sign that the person who had it last saw some value in the card. But we have a pre-release stamped Luxio, level 19. This card's from all the way back in 2007. I am not certain what that set symbol is, but maybe one of you all will. The card is definitely not in perfect condition. You can see whenever the glare hits it especially. There's some damage to this buddy. Some like staining and stuff on it. This is not the best condition stamped card to have in the collection. But assumingly that I bought this in one of my card stores, they're usually pretty good at changing the value if the card is beat up. So surely I at least got him for a good price. But always happy to add to the stamp collection, even if they're not PSA 10 or 9, or probably closer to, like, I don't know, 6. I don't do grading. Maybe with that, like, big old dent in them, which that part of theirs is in the sleeve. Maybe that big old dent, it's like a PSA 4. I don't know how this stuff works. But as promised, you guys will get to see a single card in this video, because it's now time for the bonus card of the day. That's right, even in videos where I don't have cards, you still get one. If you're not familiar with this, these are cards that I buy as singles. Oh, this is an interesting one. I promise you it's Pokemon. These are cards that I buy as singles. I usually forget what's inside by the time I go to show them on camera, yada yada yada. This one, it's weird that I don't remember what card's inside, but I remember seeing this sleeve in the card store, and that was half the thing that sold me on the card. I know that much, because I always keep these things in the sleeves that they were when I bought them. And that's definitely not a Pokemon sleeve. I'm questioning if it's Magic the Gathering, or maybe it's just a generic thing. But let's flip it around first, I suppose. Yeah, okay, we have a full art trainer. That's from base set Sun and Moon. Of course, it's always nice to get full art trainers from sets that I'm not going to be seeing a whole lot of. Any good pulls from slightly older sets that you don't easily get your hands on anymore. So, cool. Something else for the collection. Nothing super fancy. It's alright. We still have our bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles. They go in this box until it's time for me to show them on camera. I usually forget what I even purchased and is in this box. Maybe there's a Radiant Blastoise in here. There isn't. I didn't buy a Radiant Blastoise, or else that wouldn't be the theme of this video. Probably wouldn't even bought this box. But this card does have a decent sized sleeve on it, and that really means anything. We have the Frostmoth from Astral Radiance, correct? Trainer Gallery 4 of 30. These Trainer Galleries rarely have any value, but I don't care about it. I just love the artwork, and I would love to get every Trainer Gallery ever made, and honestly, I feel like I'm not doing too bad in that regard. But now we have one more. It'll go back in this sleeve until I can put it in a better one. And it is now time for the bonus card of the day. I'm not going to explain it this time. I don't explain it every video. But our next card, we're still not to the hard sleeved one there. I think he is next. It feels like that one's next. Let's see. So this one's not even sleeved at all. Usually an unsleeved card means that the previous person who owned it didn't care, they didn't see a lot of value in it, so it might not be a crazy card this time around. We have Groudon EX. This was a promo card from back in 2003. So, yeah, this one definitely should be in a sleeve. That is a e-reader legendary EX card. Granted, it's a promo, so its value probably isn't that high, but it might be. But I don't know, Legendary Boy EX e-reader. That should 100% at the very least be in a penny sleeve, if not a hard sleeve. But not a bad card. I always like getting some more of these vintage boys whenever I can actually afford them, but that also means that this one, you know, whatever I paid for it is probably about what it was actually worth. And now it's time for the bonus card of the day, which actually took me a minute because I lost this thing apparently. It's a long story, but I had to do some stuff in this room and it kind of mixed everything up, and I forgot where I put it. But, ooh, today is the day, it seems, that this hard-sleeved boy gets to be shown. Like I said, with bonus card of the day, I normally forget the things that I purchased whenever they go in this thing. But when you get something in a hard sleeve and nothing else is in the thing, it's kind of harder to forget what it was. We are at least going to slide it out of that hard sleeve. Well, if I can, Jesus. It's one of the Beckett shields, I believe, is what they call those ones. But we have the Milotic Delta species from Dragon Frontiers as a stamped card. As many people who watch my channel surely know by now, I collect stamped cards. But my favorite, like, variant or archetype, whatever you want to call it, of cards is Delta species. That is like my favorite thing. I really want it to come back. It pretty much has, because of Scarlet and Violet. You know, they're doing those, like, Pokemon can be different types now. It's not quite the same. I love Delta Species specifically, but, man, I would love to, like, specifically Delta Species to come back. But getting this boy as a stamped holo Delta Species just makes me so happy. I'm actually fairly certain that I had this card growing up as a child without the stamp on it, just the Delta Species Milotic, and it was like a favorite of mine. So when I saw this in the store, I was like, I have to pick this up. Like, there is no other alternative. I remember, like, because what had happened is at my card store, they had actually had just a bunch of cards recently traded in, so they didn't have them, like, priced out yet. And so he had, you know, they let me go through them, and I picked out a couple of them, and some of them are pretty expensive, the total of it being a lot, and I was just like, yeah, I just want to know how much they were. Didn't say I was going to be buying all of those. This one, I believe, was on the higher end, and like, this was the one where, like, no matter what, I'm buying that, unless it's like $100. So yes, this thing will be getting put in a better sleeve and in a better hard sleeve. Protect this thing better, but I am super happy to add it to the collection. So as I mentioned, this video is being fast-tracked, which means that it's kind of like a bonus video for the week. It also means that it's skipping other videos that I've already created that just aren't quite live yet. Normally, I would do the bonus card of the day here, but because of a recent change, that would actually throw things out of whack. So instead of the bonus card of the day, we're just going to go back, one set and do a Paldea Evolved pack. So hopefully, we'll get something in here, and we'll consider that the bonus card of the day. Whatever we can pull out of this thing. Slide that one out, and we have the Magikarp, Slowpoke, Litleo, Rockruff, Luminous Energy, Bombardier, Flamingo, Delibird, the Shirtle, and finally, alright, that's it. That's the bonus card of the day. A, like, I don't know, like, maybe 10-cent card. There's the price down there. But now it's time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles. They go in this Silver Tempest box till it's time to reveal them on camera. I usually forget what's in here by the time I even go to do it. So we actually have a Shining Fates sleeve here, which means that it's probably going to be a Shining Fates card, I assume. Let's see here. Ooh, maybe not. I doubt I'd be paying for a Shining Fates card, something that modern, to have that much damage on it. You can even see some, like, dirt and crap there and there. Card's not in great condition, which I assume means that I either got a really good deal on it because of the condition that it's in, or it's just the card that I really wanted regardless of the condition. We have... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm assuming that's more of a good deal territory. So we have the Magneton Holo with the stamp from Power Keepers. Again, I collect stamped cards. I feel like most of the cards from this segment ended up just being stamped cards, or like Trainer Gallery. But yeah, the holo effect is definitely a bit subdued as well. It's nice to have because I don't have this card in the collection, so getting it in any form is still nice. But of course, if I can get this thing for a good price that isn't this beat up, I will happily replace this one. But still always happy to add to the stamped card collection. Oh, okay, there's actually the price tag, $4.99. I wonder if I got it for less than that. The way I understand, because, yeah, the card store I bought this one from isn't the one I go to as often, because they actually, like, put these tags on here. The way that they explain it to me is they actually price check all of their cards with TCG Player. That's how they do the pricing for it. They throw it on there, and they don't take into account the damage on the card until someone actually goes to buy it, and then they look at lowering the price or whatever else. So there's a chance that I paid less than that. God only knows. It's been so long. I haven't even been to that store in forever. Alright, let's go on to the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles, specifically to go in this segment. They go in this box until I reveal them on camera. And our next bonus card of the day doesn't look very beat up. It's in one of these sleeves that isn't quite perfect fit. You have a little bit of stem there and stem there. So I think that means that this might be from back when I first started doing bonus card of the day. I had purchased a bunch of Trainer Gallery cards on eBay, and this is the same style of sleeve, and based on the condition of the card, it's very likely to be in one of those Trainer Galleries. Let's see, because I do always shuffle the cards around in that. Whenever I add a new card to this, even as one, I shuffle it all around. So let's see. No, actually, it is a shiny Drizzly, whatever. I actually don't even know if there are any Trainer Galleries left in here. It's almost empty. We're running low. But cool, we got a shiny boy. Of course, because of Hidden Fates and Shining Fates, there are so many shiny Pokemon. And so it's always nice just to add more and more to that collection that I know I'll never have, all of, but you know, I can at least slowly add on to it with things that I don't have, like this shiny middle evolution boy. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day. This is a segment where I buy cards specifically to go in this box until they're shown in this segment. I always shuffle around, I usually forget what's in here by the time they're shown on camera, yada yada yada. And, actually just kind of saw it there for a minute. This boy is also in a standard sleeve. At least it's in a sleeve. That tends to mean the person who had it beforehand saw some value in it. It does certainly have some damage, mostly whitening like along the sides. That is its biggest damage point. I wonder if that means this card is actually like used. I don't know how much you really get whitening from play, but yeah, there's definitely some damage to this guy. So I'm assuming it's a bit older. We have a Holo Groudon. This is actually an XY promo number 52 from back in 2015. Not the most exciting card to get as a bonus card of the day, but I like collecting some of the older promos, especially ones that I don't already have. Again, promos don't tend to have the highest value, but sometimes they really do. So I don't know exactly what this guy has. I will pull up the price for him now. There it is. That's how much this Groudon is worth. But yeah, just a nice looking Holo Groudon. It's gonna go back in this sleeve until I can get it in a better one this boy actually deserves. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day, and very interestingly, this box, which I've been using for the bonus card of the day since the segment started. I have been putting cards in here since the beginning and has never, I don't think it has. It's never ran empty to my knowledge. Every time I get a new card, I throw it in here and I shuffle them around. And so there's always a chance that the card that I added very early on is still in here. That chance is no longer true, as we are down to one last card. I need to get some more singles to pad this thing out. So, our final bonus card of the day, and hopefully this box will have plenty more by the next video, because I need to get some more things for this segment. At this point where I've purchased so many different cards, I couldn't even begin to guess what this one is, now that we've gotten them all the way down to one. You can see there's plenty of whitening along the top and the side, so it's definitely going to be an older card, but that's all I can really tell you. We have, yes, the Camerupt Holo from Crystal Guardians as a stamped card. I still love this stamp collection. I remember in my, I did a video whenever I hit 1,000 subs, where I went through my entire Pokemon card collection. Of course, I didn't go through the bulk crap, but I showed off my stamped cards, and I can't wait till, like, the next time around to go through the stamped card collection on camera, and just kind of, look at how much it's grown since then. But we have another one to add. Not the best condition in the world, certainly not the worst. We have our Holo Camerupt. But it is now time for the bonus card of the day, and this has actually evolved a little bit. So in what should have been my last video, unless something ended up skipping the track, we pulled our final bonus card of the day. And I have now evolved what we consider bonus card of the day. Most of these will still be cards that I bought as singles specifically to go in this segment. But there are going to be a few changes. My girlfriend does a bunch of artsy things, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler. And yeah, you don't just have standard cards in there anymore. She's been working on some stuff, and we're going to start throwing it in this box. Of course, it's still random what video they'll end up in, so I don't even know if this video is going to end up with one or not, because I always draw from the back, and they're kind of shuffled around. But aside from that, I'm also including some cards where she'll buy packs and stuff and open them, you know, not on camera, and so if we get like a really good card, I'm going to throw it in there as well. It's a card that we haven't pulled on camera before. So this looks like a modern one. This might actually be the exact thing that I just described. Let's see. And it is, yes, this came from a pack that she opened, I think. This might have been one that I bought. Oh, I really don't remember. I don't think I purchased this one. I'm pretty sure this is one that she pulled out of a single pack. But we have the Dedenne EX here in the bonus card of the day. Now understand that with those things being changed, I'm not trying to pad this thing out. We're still getting some interesting things in here. There still isn't that much in there. There's just two thicker cards. But Dedenne EX, very happy to have this full art boy, as the standard EXs from Scarlet and Violet don't really seem to be worth that much. Hopefully some of these full arts definitely bring up that value a bit. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles, but there are other special things in here, like things that my lady friend makes, and I think, yes, this is one of her art projects. She's actually made a couple of these in the past, and yes, I'm showing you the back right now. She got a little bit of glue on the back of that one. she's made a couple of these in the past, but they've all been pretty much like gifts for people. So this is the first time I think I'm showing one of them on the channel. So she does stuff with resin, and we have a little Game Boy here with an Arcanine card stuck there in the center with the actual card art being the screen. There is clear resin poured over the Arcanine with a little bit of sparkly bits over him as well, so it kind of blends in a bit more. Then you can actually see the card through these holes here. So you can kind of see, like, it's supposed to the speaker grills, you'll start and select A and B, right? Or B, A, I don't remember. And through our D-pad. So this little mold for this like Game Boy is like the perfect size to do a card in, and she's been working on stuff like this, trying to, you know, put cards into Game Boys using the art as the screen, with just, you know, theming for the card that just kind of helps, you know, add on to the artwork. And I think this is definitely one of the better ones that she has made. So yeah, obviously there's not going to be a value on screen for this one, because this isn't like a card that there, you know, is a standard thing like you normally have the pack with the bonus card of the day. But this is the first one of these things that we've had in the bonus card of the day segment. So let me know down below what you think. Do you think this is a nice thing to spice it up once in a while, or do you prefer just the traditional, these are cards that I purchased, look at them? I think this definitely adds to it. We're gonna throw them back there. Will he stand? I think he might be a little too front heavy. Anyways, we are going to do the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I added singles specifically to go in this segment, along with some other additional cards that have been added. Let's see, we have, yep, just a standard card this time around, not in a sleeve or anything like that. I always leave these as they are whenever I get them. But no whitening or anything. This is going to be a very modern card. We have, yes, the Armor Rogue, I'll say Trainer Gallery. Trainer Gallery is not a thing anymore. The Armor Rogue illustration rare. Now, this was actually not a card that I purchased, rather one that my girlfriend purchased from, well, from buying some packs and opening them. she pulled the Armor Rogue. I absolutely love this boy, and this was one of those cards that was on my list that I just wanted to pull, and I'm so happy to finally have it. To be honest, I would have been happier to pull it on camera in a video, but the fact that I still have it at all just makes me happy. But that wasn't quite everything, as we still have the bonus card of the day to do. God knows what we're going to get now that we've been changing up how this works. It appears to just be another standard card. A little tiny bit of whitening there on the side, and a little tiny nick right down there, if you guys can see those. But pretty good condition. What do we have? It's the Ashes Pikachu with the stamp, Pokemon the Movie, I Choose You. I actually remember buying this. There was a second one there, and the cutting was horrible. Like, it wasn't like, oh, you can kind of, like, there's another card, you know, cut. Like, you know, you've had cards that are, like, cut down the center or something. No, it was just, like, very poorly aligned, and it was a lot more beat up than this one. I've definitely seen this card before, but I never, like, you know, looked into it. I guess it was just a movie promo card from Sun and Moon number 114, and I'm happy to add it to the collection. A pretty basic stamped card, no hollow effect or anything, which in my opinion makes it kind of stand out a little bit more. Normally in this segment, these are cards that I either buy as singles, my girlfriend pulls from packs, or there's a couple artsy things that she makes that go in here, and I always shuffle them around and pull them out randomly. But I'm breaking the rules today, because yesterday we went shopping, we went out and did some stuff. It was a pretty fun, very tiring day, and she bought a few packs while we were out, and we opened a few packs. They were Obsidian Flames, and they were just like cardboard hanging blisters. And this was one of the cards that was pulled. Now, if you can't tell, yes, I already double sleeved it. Hard sleeve with one of my sealable sleeves there on the inside. So that Charizard that we pulled was the least valuable Charizard EX, at least as far as I can remember. Well, here we have the most valuable Charizard EX in the set. Out of the just random packs that she bought, we pulled the most valuable Charizard EX. Yeah, it was GameStop that she bought that from. We went to a lot of places yesterday. It was a very long day. It was kind of like a weird date night. But yeah, these ones were a GameStop purchase. And just from a random, like, cardboard pack, it makes me so happy. We have pulled the Chase card, I want to say. I say that term is still relevant. For this set. with the Charizard EX. I'm going to turn off my little ring light. You won't be able to see the card quite as nice, but you also don't have that annoying ring around it, so you can, get a somewhat better view of the card. Yeah, this thing, from when I checked it last night, it was like a $98 card, or something along those lines. By the time this video comes out, the price will have either gone up or gone down, or maybe it's still exactly the same, but I don't get videos out the same day I record them. It takes some time. But just so happy that we pulled this last night. It's one of those moments where it's just like, it was a nice private moment, but I also wish I would have gotten it on camera because, like, it's the best thing in the set. But you also might notice that there is another one of these cards that I personally hard-sleeved. That's because we pulled something else, and I am also cheating again for tomorrow's video. That will be, not tomorrow's, the next video. So this will be in the next one that is uploaded. I suggest checking it out as well. And then after that, I'm going to go back to not cheating, and the rest of these have been shuffled, and they'll stay shuffled. Okay, we can calm down now. Yep, I'm back. Video's not done. Ignore the background changes. I literally just woke up from a nap. I recorded that video, and I realized that I forgot the special segment at the end that I'm supposed to do. Went and ate dinner, went and took a nap, because I'm super tired. Well, lunch. And here we are. Anyways, bonus card of the day. This is a segment where I buy cards specifically to go in this segment. I usually don't know what card it's going to be, yada yada. Today, that isn't true. I actually mentioned something at the end of the last video where a very special card was shown, and I mentioned that we would be following it up in today's video as something that kind of goes along those lines. This is a card that my girlfriend pulled inside of a single pack. This was another pack that she had opened in the same set as 4 packs that she purchased. And, yeah, this happened. So, in the last video, if you've watched it, we pulled the most valuable card from City in Flames, that being Charizard EX. There are 4 Charizard EXs in that set. This happens to be the second most valuable card in the set, and of course that means it's the second most valuable Charizard. The Golden Charizard EX. It's the, like the 3 golden stars. So yeah, I can't believe I, forgot this, and now I've added on here at the end in a crappy way. I am so tired. I shouldn't be recording right now. After I finished filming, I was working on this stuff, and, experimenting for things to possibly use them all the time in future videos. That's why it looks like that right now, while there's like different figures and stuff here. So now it's time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that most of the time I buy them as singles specifically to go in this segment. There are some special things in here, including cards that we pulled off camera. But this, I'm assuming, is not one of them. It has a bit of a curve to it. It's been definitely in a binder. A little bit of whitening in the corner, but not much. Good looking card. I'm guessing that's going to be a bit older. We have the Delta Species stamped Dragon Frontiers Chikorita. This is from back in 2006. I love Delta Species. It's my favorite, card typing, card archetype, I think is the right word. And I, of course, collect stamped cards. That is, my primary thing as a Pokemon collector. So getting Delta Species and stamped just makes me happy. That is just, the premium combo. I've actually purchased a couple of these now. I might have all of the Dragon Frontiers ones now. I at least hope I do. If I don't, I should look into what I don't have. But yeah, just the basic little 2006 boy here, but I just love these stamped things. God knows what the value is worth. You guys will have seen it on screen, but I assume it's a bit higher with it being that old. We'll find out. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy as singles specifically to go in this segment. Of course, some of them are things that we pulled and yada yada. I need to find a... I ought to just, put a thing in the corner. I just need to, make a little text box that pulls up whenever I get to the segment, so I don't feel the need to explain it for newcomers to the channel. That's not a bad idea. Just, maybe I'll write something up to put there to explain to newcomers every time I do this, instead of, should I explain it again, or should I just let the newcomers figure it out? No, just text box. Problem solved. We'll see if I actually want to do that or not. But we have the Glimmora EX. You can probably tell this is in one of my sleeves, where it's probably really hard to tell, honestly. I'll just show you. These are my favorite little sleeves, like Dragon Shields. You have this little flap, it's a very long flap, that you slide in behind the card, and it kind of seals the card in. Kind of prevents any dust or debris or anything from getting inside of the card. Or actually touching the card. I love those sleeves, even though it makes it take a lot longer to actually sleeve a lot of cards. Yeah, that's because we pulled this one off camera. This was from, I don't know who purchased this. It came from packs that me and my girlfriend decided to open, because sometimes we do things off camera, and we pulled the Glimmora EX. It's not the best looking card, but it is an EX that I did not yet have. I just hate this. This is the part that infuriates me. It is like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, why? That is way too much. Like, this scrap discard, start over. Like, give it a different ability. I'm sure it's a unique ability, and it required that description. I did read through it whenever we first pulled it. We don't need it. Just get rid of the ability. It's fine. It doesn't have to exist. We don't need to have to read books in Pokemon. We already had to do that in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I already hated it in Yu-Gi-Oh! But now it's time for the bonus card of the day. I'll have the little thing down below if you don't know what that is. But this card right here... Oh, is that... Yes, that is one of my sealable sleeves. So this is going to be more than likely a card that was pulled off camera. And we have, yes, the Varoom. I actually don't remember this one being pulled. I know that it was in here. I remember that much. I think this might have been a pack that my girlfriend bought, but it might not have been. For the most part, if we're opening things off camera, it's packs that she buys. So it's always safe to assume that that's the case. But we have the illustration rare Varoom here. This is a very fantastic looking card. It really makes me think like early Final Fantasy games, like their weird, like... technology mixed with magic, like that art style, the architecture, and the form of engineering. I always love that kind of like high fantasy magic mechanical. That is very much what, like, you know, with the holo effect hitting this, and like the color choices here, like the exposed wiring and stuff, it really gives me that feeling, and I'm a fan, even though this card probably is not worth that much. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day. And, ooh, we have the special one today. My girlfriend, I had an idea. Well, I didn't really have an idea. I found somebody that did something kind of cool on YouTube. It was like on YouTube Shorts. So I was like, hey, maybe you could do that. And so she tried it with one of these, and I think her goal is to do more. We have a basically three-dimensional Thornton card here. You can kind of tell here. It's a little bit rougher on the edges, her first attempt at this, but I don't think it's too bad, all things considered. So you actually have to take multiple of these cards, and you essentially just cut out certain things and then put like foam behind it to make it thicker, and you end up with one of these, like, you know, like 3D view cards where you have things that are quite literally popping out, in this case that being the character. I think there were only 3 cards used for this, because it was the backing card, which is just a whole card by itself, and then you had the Thornton, and then you had the front frame, as you can tell, that is going a layer above the person there. But she has actually picked out other things that she might end up doing this with. But if you want to compare, here is what the card normally looks like. So, I mean, obviously, I assume that you know what it normally looks like, but it's just kind of neat seeing it side by side, like the depth that's added from this little art project. It's a pretty neat little thing. I'd like for her to do more of these to throw in this. If you guys like it, let me know down below if you want to see more of those in the bonus card of the day slot, and I'll tell her to get to work on them. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day. Down there is an explanation. But we are actually getting lower on cards. We have this card was also sleeved by me, because I'm the only person that I know that uses these sealable sleeves. I've pointed this out before. It's like a piece of thing that goes in there and seals it. But because the card is sealed by me, it either means that I bought a very valuable card that didn't have a sleeve already, which would kind of suck and is abnormal, or more likely it is a card that we pulled off camera that my girlfriend purchased. We have, yes, actually, that is what this was. So she had bought a Build and Battle box, and this was the promo card inside. I'm sure if you've seen this channel before, you know I collect stamped cards. And so even if they're super modern stamped cards that you just get from Build and Battle boxes, which is where most stamped cards come from anyways, I still collect them. It's rare that I do decide to pick up the Build and Battle boxes. A lot of the times I just end up buying the cards themselves. But she picked this one up. I believe it was actually on like a date night that we found it and she bought that box. But cool, we have a Obsidian Flames stamped Palafin. It is now time for the bonus card of the day. If you don't know what that is, explanation right down there. We have... Okay, so this is a red-sleeved card. I always leave these cards in the condition that I purchased them in, unless it was a high value and didn't have a sleeve at all, which is rare. Yeah, I certainly want to purchase the red sleeve myself. It's also a bit, like, beat up on the back of the sleeve. I don't know if it's going to show on camera well. You can just tell it's old, like it's been used in play. Hopefully that doesn't bode ill for the card inside. Card is in fantastic condition. think that would be a white dot there. Okay, nope, this came off. So, Fantastic Edition card, I assume that means that it's relatively new. We have, and I was correct, a Koraidon EX, number 231 of 198, so also a secret rare, I suppose, from Scarlet and Violet. Always nice to get some full art cards. If I had to guess, I picked this one up because I got a decent price on it. Of course, you guys will have seen the price down below. Or simply because I just really wanted the card, because I absolutely love Koraidon. I think he is one of my favorite legendaries now. This will go in a better sleeve later, but for now, we'll just keep it safe. Well, that was disappointing, but now it's time for the bonus card of the day, which hopefully will not disappoint. Explanation right down there. We have, wow, we're pretty much out, aren't we? We have a hard-sleeved card here. So, usually, if it's hard-sleeved, that means that we're looking at something far better. I think I actually even know what this one is. So we are going to be taking it out of the hard sleeve. Oh, okay, well, my goal is to take it out of both, and I kind of just did both in one go. That's kind of impressive. Fantastic condition, I'll say that. No whitening, no, like, bins or anything, so I'm assuming that it's more modern, which means I think I'm correct. Yes, it is the Entei V, Galarian Gallery 36 of 70. I didn't even really know that this card existed, but I found it at my card store. This one is actually a pretty recent pickup. And I saw it and I was like, I just really want that card. I love that art style. It's funky. It's certainly not a traditional art style for the Pokemon card game, but I like him. I do definitely, you know, I would have preferred my Electric Boy. God, that sleeve didn't want to come out. I would have preferred my Electric Boy, but I'm always happy to get just any beautiful card, regardless of who's on it. I still do like Entei, especially Child Me, but I'm more for my Electric Dog now. It is now time for the bonus card of the day, and I believe this is my last one. It's also in there upside down. Whoops. So explanation for what this is down there in the corner. So this is in just a standard penny sleeve. I'm assuming it's one of the Ultra Pros because it's like larger, and I don't like these. I like perfect fits, but it looks like it might be a bit older. It's hard to explain. It's just a bit beat. You have a little scratch there. You have some whitening on the sides. It almost looks like the back is slightly washed out, like the blue is just a bit less vibrant. So I'm guessing that's a bit older, and like I said, it's a little bit warped, but nothing bad. We have a Holo Raikou. God, I'm saying it that way now. Raikou, I believe is how you're supposed to say it. There's a whole thing about that on this channel. But anyways, we have my favorite of the dog boys here as a holo from all the way back in 2006. This was from some sort of promo set. I'm assuming it might have been, I don't know, like maybe a restaurant promo kind of deal. Either way, 3 of only 17 from back in 2006 to be in this condition. I'm happy. Like, obviously, you're not going to send this into PSA and get a 10, but it's not bad for being very, very old. It will be going back in the rather crappy sleeve that it certainly needed to be in something better until I can get it into a better sleeve and maybe a hard sleeve as well. Now, ordinarily, this is where I would say, oh, it's time for a pack of the day, well, bonus card of the day, and, well, there's a slight problem there. So instead, I guess it is going to be a pack of the day since I don't have a bonus card to give you guys. What the hell? What? I hope as much of that as possible was caught on camera. What? This pack has been opened. Is that glue? There was like a little glue dot like right there. It looks like it was sealed at one point, but it has since been opened. And all of the cards were just like, you can even see like indent. Like, do you see that? Like how the edges of the pack are sticking up while the inside is like indented. It's like the cards were just resting against the pack. I don't even know, like, I have just piles of packs, well, a pile of just packs laying around that are in these things, so I don't know where I bought this from, which makes this very challenging to tell if I got scammed or if this is like a misprint. If it came from my card store, I assume this was an issue from the Pokemon Company. If it came from somewhere else, it's really hard to tell. So we're just going to do this like normal. We're going to kind of take a look at it. So there's our code card. It is the correct code card. So we have the Sprigatito, the Fiddle. I'm just looking for anything that could be off. Like, look and make sure they're all from the same set, that it's the right order of rarity. We have Houndour, Then we go into our uncommons, which I believe is correct. We have Pachirisu, that should be uncommon from here. The Picnic Basket, and the Bombardier. Then we have the reverse Tatsugiri. We have the reverse Dedenne. And we have a Hollow Armor Rogue followed up with just an energy. This just seemed like a standard pack. But what was... Can anyone confirm if they've had that happen before? Like, I opened that up and it was just... The cards in the pack were separate from each other. I've done so many of these, especially from filming YouTube Shorts opening packs. Like, that is wild. Well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and call it there. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Again, let me know if you've ever seen anything like that. Like, that's just wacky. You know what? Okay, never mind. I just went looking through my stack here, and I just found another one without opening it. This has been opened, and you can see that there are cards laying next to the pack. I'm gonna look through the rest of these and see if I find any others like that. Okay, I have found 2 more. I got scammed at some point or another. Both of these are like that, where the cards are not in the pack. Let's open these up. So, like, there's just the pack behind it. I know my girlfriend does some things where, like, she'll open a pack and she manages to open it cleanly, so she'll put the cards back inside the pack. I've never known her to not put them in the pack and just throw them in the sleeve. Like, that doesn't happen. We have a Primate, Pommy, Tarantula. Is there any kind of pulls here? Like, if we don't get any pulls, there's one more. We have the Astral Radiance here. And, like, this one is, like, whoever did this one, like, sealed it back up good. I just bent that myself. Like, that is closed shut. But, again, there's the pack. Wherever I bought these from, I got ripped off. I should mention this is an Astral Radiance. I guess I should do the thing before and making sure that these are correct here. There is a Shuyi and Sneasler. If we got a pull, then why would they leave it in there? Unless it's a super low value, which I assume it is. It's just a standard V. I'm so confused. I'm just lost. Like, I'm assuming that's all this was, is I just got screwed. I'm just gonna... I don't know. I don't know. Like, I went through all of my other packs, and none of the other ones are like that. It was just these 3. So that is 2 Scarlet and Violet and 1 Astral Radiance. And God knows how long these things have been sitting around, just in my collection with the others. That is wild. So I guess PSA time. If you are buying these, just look in the side. Just look right there. And if the pack is thick, it means the cards are still inside of it. You can feel them. You can also make sure this hasn't been torn open before, but to be fair, the Astral Radiance one felt like it hadn't either. Like, that was, like, really down. So, I guess just be careful. So normally, this is where I would do the bonus card of the day, but I am all out of bonus cards of the day, so we're going to be throwing a Scarlet and Violet pack in here, ruining the aesthetic feeling of this video, of it being a little bit of a, you know, backpedal, going back to Sword and Shield. We're just gonna ruin it and throw in a, you know, more modern pack in here. We have a code card. Honestly, I just grabbed it. I started the pack trick. I just grabbed it randomly because, again, I am my recording is about to end itself because I am almost out of storage. We have the Toad Scroll, Rock Chestplate, Driftbloom, and Miraidon as a holo. Not the most exciting version of the bonus card of the day, but at least, you know, you got an extra pack in the video, at least, right? I know it sucks. I'm working on it. I'm trying to do a project to get just a bunch of cards to fill that thing with. A bunch of good cards, to be fair. I don't want just fodder. But now, it is time for the bonus card of the day. Explanation right down there. And, oh, I have a card facing the wrong way. That's not good. I need to redo this. I need to shuffle those back up. But, oh, they're all facing the wrong way. I just kind of revealed that. Maybe I'll blur it. Maybe I won't. Yes, so speaking of pull luck off camera, this card was clearly sleeved by me, as it has one of my inner sleeves. You can tell by that kind of like line that kind of goes outward there, then goes down. This is one of my sleeves, which means more than likely it was from a pack that my girlfriend opened off camera. And we have the Greta full art, which, what set are you? Obsidian Flames, number 226 of 197. I never actually learned how to pronounce your name. I'm guessing it's just like Gita? Because I should mention that I'm dyslexic, but I always just like put an R in there. I think it's just Gita, right? Because it's G-E-E. Like, there's no R at all. So, I don't know. I kept thinking like Greta for some reason. Either way, nice looking card, and it's also very fitting that we had my lady friend in here to open cards in this video, and we got one that she had pulled off camera from a different date. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day, explanation down there in the corner. And we have a green sleeve that is interesting. I definitely don't own green sleeves myself, so this is certainly a purchased card. We have pretty good condition. I'm guessing you're just going to be a very modern card, maybe even Scarlet and Violet. We have Penny, and I was correct. That's from Scarlet and Violet base set. So this is from the original Scarlet and Violet set. We have the illustration rare Penny. Yep, probably not the highest valued card, but certainly an interesting one to have in the collection. I will definitely be putting it in a better sleeve than this little safety green here. I guess more of like a grass green, like a golf course kind of deal. Either way, cool, bonus card. Anyways, it's now time for the bonus card of the day. Explanation down there in the corner, and oh, we get to do the special thing. So this is one of the things that my girlfriend made. You can tell by the back, this is not a normal Pokemon card anymore. That's because it is behind resin. And we have the Shuppet from the Halloween set. She even did a decent amount of work to be able to make sure that the whole Pikachu thing could be shown. The whole card is encased in resin. That's still resin there as well. She's working on a potential project to upgrade some of these that she's made to actually have like buttons that go, covering these two, and leave the Speaker Girls as is. So we might end up seeing these cards again if she is able to continue that project she was working on. But until then, we have this beautiful little Game Boy styled Shuppet card. Honestly, I think it's one of my favorite ones that she's done. Like, she's only done a couple of these Game Boy kind of deals. This is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite altogether. Anyways, it is now time for the bonus card of the day. Explanation down there in the corner. But we have another white sleeved card, so this definitely came from a card store, something similar. Well, if I can slide it out, there we go. I'm guessing this is going to be modern. We got a little tiny white dot there. Aside from that, it's in like perfect condition. So I'm assuming modern. We have, yes, the full art Dancer. Probably not a super high valuable card, but like, I love adding on to the full arts, just having like a page full of like full art trainers, like going through a binder just full of full art trainers. It looks cool. I'm a big fan of just continuing to add on to that part of my hard sleeve binder. This will be going back in this sleeve until I put it in a better one. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day. Sorry, I was like stretching and it pulled something in my back that made my lungs do a weird thing. Anyways, explanation for what this is down there in the corner. We are running lower, but ooh, we have a pink sleeve. Again, whenever I buy these, they stay in the sleeves that they were in when I picked them up, with very rare exceptions to that. This is probably the only pink sleeve in my house, but it's neat to have. Anyways, this card is probably also going to be very modern. I'm not seeing anything beaten up or whitening or anything like that. So probably not super special. We have, okay, yes, the Superior V. You're slightly older. I was thinking it was going to be like a Scarlet and Violet modern, but no, this is last year. Silver Tempest, I want to say, that set symbol right down there. I want to say Silver Tempest, but I might be wrong. Either way, it's certainly not old, but also not as modern as, Scarlet and Violet. We have the Superior V, which I believe that's how it's pronounced, right? I assume. Either way, another nice full art card to add to my full art V collection. For the time being, it will be going back in its pink sleeve until I can get it into something more protective. But now it's time for the bonus card of the day, explanation down there in the corner. I did add some new cards to this recently, so it has been shuffled around. I'm just hoping that we don't get that exact trainer that we just pulled. We have, okay, the Pharaoh Thorn illustration rare. This is actually double sleeved. It is rare that I purchase a card that is double sleeved. Like, that is not common. Oh, I hate these sleeves. I don't like the side-loading ones. I don't know, personal preference. But it is in immaculate condition. No real, whitening. There's a tiny little dot there. Yeah, I didn't really expect it to be in bad condition. It's a brand new card. Well, from a brand new set, at least. From this set, to be specific. But we have our Ferrothorn. I'm going to go ahead and re-sleeve him until I can get him in something better. God, it's kind of a nasty sleeve. There's some, like, gunk and stuff on it. Alright, I promised. I'll go grab ferrets. I make no promises that they will stay in frame, but there's Lily and there's Serana. I literally just looked them up. They went in the cage and, like, immediately went to sleep. Stop sniffing around the camera. Look into the camera. Why are you staring at the light? I have two bright lights. There's the Serana bear. Yeah, they're the ferrets. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling that that would happen, that they'd just start destroying stuff. Tends to be how they do. We try and, like, yeah. Oh, got our chaser. The other one's, like, behind camera now. Oh, well, okay. Well, there were the ferrets. I'm gonna go let them roam. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I will see all of you guys next time. Give, like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. They just, oh, they're on my computer desk, but one of them is. That's a problem. Okay, goodbye. But anyways, now it's time for the bonus card of the day. Explanation down there in the corner. And let's see, we have a white sleeve here. Definitely not one of mine. So let's pull that out. It is not double sleeved, but it is in fantastic condition. So my only assumption is that it's in good condition because it's from one of the newer sets. We have Copycat. Yep, this is actually not super new. 2021, this is going to be Evolving Skies. I mean, nowhere near a vintage card, but still nice to get something, you know, that's about, what is that, about 3 years old now? Now as a, well, you know, in this good of condition. But we have our full art Copycat, which is just a good looking card. I like the idea that Copycat is literally just like the human Ditto. But we'll put it back into... Oh, I actually like that. That's a nice little thing. You have like white on the back, black on the front. That's interesting. Not a bad little outer sleeve there, but it'll go back in that until I replace it with something better. Now it's time for the bonus card of the day. Explanation down there in the corner. This time we have a gray sleeve. I promise you guys, these are just the sleeves that they put them in at my card store. I don't buy like a billion different colored sleeves to put these in. I always leave them as they were when I buy them. It just so happens that everybody seems to pick just a different solid color sleeve to put their cards in when they go to sell them. Anyways, this card is also in a great condition, which usually means that it's going to be modern. We have my boy, the Skeledirge EX from Paradox Rift, actually. Ironic. See, instead of having to, like, buy a bunch of Paradox Rift in order to pull my boy, I could just spend some money, just in one go, and just get my boy. I mean, he wasn't really something I was aiming for, because I didn't know he was in the set until I saw this card at my card store, and I was like, oh, my boy has an EX. Of course, I have to buy it. Anyways, it is now time for the bonus card of the day. Explanation down there in the corner. And we have a gray sleeve, kind of transparent a little bit. You can see there at the top. But we're going to slide the card out so we can see... Oh, it is actually double sleeved as well. That's always nice. I don't see that too often when I'm buying these. It's in great condition though, so I assume this is going to be super modern. We have, yes, the Iron Valiant EX. Would have been more ironic if I would have opened this in the Iron Valiant ETB. But either way, this quickly became one of my favorites of any of the future and past Paradox Pokemon. Iron Valiant quickly made its way to the top of the list for me. I actually played through Scarlet, not Violet. My girlfriend is the one that had Violet, and I never borrowed it for long enough to beat the game and be able to start shiny hunting this guy, which is something I still really want to do. But now it is time for the bonus card of the day. Description down there in the corner. And this box has recently... Oh, I have them facing the wrong way. There we go. The back is supposed to be facing. Recently shuffled these after the Yamacon video, which I highly suggest checking out. And I believe this card is from that. Wow, it is... Please tell me not just on the sleeve, because that's, yeah, okay. I probably didn't buy the best condition card here. Yeah, we got some dirt just like right there, like right centered on the Pokeball. We also have like a stain down there, a bunch of whitening. So I assume I paid very little for this. We can also assume that because it's like really beat up, it's probably a much older card. We have, yes, the Black Star promo of Meowth with GB there in the corner, which... I remember looking into this, and I couldn't really figure out what that meant. My only assumption is Game Boy, because it is from that era, being 1990... Oh, no, it's actually 2000 down there on the bottom right corner. So I'm assuming that the GB stands for Game Boy, but I'm not certain. All I know is that I collect stamped cards, and that qualifies as a stamp to me, at least. Feel free to let me know in the comment section if I'm just being stupid. But it is a Wizards Black Star promo that I did not yet have, so yeah, it might not be in the best condition, but it's still a nice thing to add to the collection. But the video is not quite over yet, as we still have to do the bonus card of the day. Explanation right down there in the corner, if you are not already familiar. And our next card is also a bit beat up. I have a lot of older cards in this thing now, and so of course condition isn't always going to be the greatest, especially as we saw in the last video. Honestly, not bad. It's really not bad at all. I think the sleeve kind of made it look a lot worse than it really is. Tiny bit of whitening up there, and I guess some little dots along the side. Really not too bad, so it might not be that old. We have... okay, still pretty dang old. From 2009, we have our Scizor here as a reverse. I forgot what that symbol means there at the top, but this is back during that era where they would actually put like the Pokemon's level on the card, which was very interesting, especially for me as a kid who, like, you know, grew up mostly just playing the games. But just definitely a very nice looking card. There's actually another Scizor card in here, which it could be forever until we pull it. Who knows? I shuffle it every time I add new cards to this. That was also very pricey, but this thing might have some decent value as well. So for the time being, he'll be going back in this not such great condition sleeve until I can get him in something better. But that was the Pokemon Holiday Calendar. We are going to flip it around and open it up this way, although it's probably going to force itself to kind of open. Yeah, it is what it is. As we still have to do the bonus card of the day. Description is down there in the corner explaining what this is. But we have kind of a larger sleeve on here. It's kind of faded a bit. I'd say it's probably a bit older. We have whitening pretty bad on that corner, a little bit on that one, tiny bit on that one. So all the corners are not in the best shape. I'm assuming this one's a bit older and was probably actually used in play, although sleeved in play. We have the Dragon Frontiers stamped Rainbow Energy card from all the way back in 2006. So maybe it wasn't used in play, maybe it just had a rough life since, 2006 till now. You guys know I collect stamped cards. I actually got this one for $3. Of course, we'll see the price down there for what this thing goes for. According to TCG Player. But I don't think I've ever seen this one before, and of course Dragon Frontiers was like a popular set back, way back when, so it's nice to get it on a stamped card of any kind, but especially it being on this interesting little energy. So happy to add this to the collection. But it is now time for the bonus card of the day. I do apologize that this video wasn't anything super special for it possibly being the end. But also explanation for what this is down there in the corner. But as I said, when it gets to this time of year, things just start getting rough for me. Where's my opening? Okay, there it is. So let's slide this card out. This one probably isn't going to be that old. We do have a tiny bit of like whitening down there. I'm going to guess this is something a bit more modern, but not like super modern. Like I'm thinking like late 20-teens. We have, okay, wow, really close. Yeah, I was correct. That is 2018. I said like late 20-teens. I'm proud of myself for that one. We have the Holo Forbidden Light stamped Sun and Moon Xurkitree. I do have to say the holo effect on this honestly is just really nice. Sun and Moon did some really good job with their holos. But of course, I collect stamped cards, and this is not one that I yet had from the Forbidden Light set. So I am extremely happy to add this to my collection, to my binder of stamped cards. We're just gonna throw this in here for the time being.